identifying managers versus individual contributors. You guys think of anything good? Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that you have that survey that you send out to all the employees. So you can use that and have them rate their peers or their managers or their subordinates and just rate them on those 8 different qualifications that you've discovered that link to being a good leader. And then the peers and those people are identifying themselves who would be good managers. And it's not like I'm not going to say I'm a good manager, but instead I'm going to say Ben over here, I work with
Yeah.
him and he's got these traits that make him skilled to be that. And then you can identify people that way.
That's a good idea. And some of the questions are exactly related to this characteristics. I'll pull that data. Yeah.
Kind of similar to what Matt was saying, get the idea of kind of, instead of actually just doing like a survey of the manager, but focusing more on the mentor side. And because sometimes the part of the problem right now is that they view managers in a certain way and they view individual contributors in another way. And so you have mentorship and you find out who wants to be part of a mentorship program, helps you identify people that are interested in that kind of roles. And then based on how they do in a mentorship role, you get an idea if they can be a people manager or not.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We don't have the formal mentorship in our area. Yeah.
I think it's a value conversation. I feel like there's people who are maybe already have skills of being great managers, and then there are people who value it, who would be willing to invest. And I'd be curious to know who they are, who have seen value in having great managers, and or who would be willing to take on like training or skill development to become a great manager, because they see how well it's done for them.
Yeah. One of our leaders said at Google, he said, engineers don't want to be micromanaged when it comes to their work, but they want to be micromanaged when it comes to their careers. They want to be told that. And so, yeah, it would be helpful in this conversation. That's true.
Kind of off that one thing I just talked about with my group is, like I worked at Caterpillar, and one thing I saw with engineers very clearly is there's some that would self-select to be leaders, but there are some that would never, ever self-select to be leaders that have all the skills that are amazing at doing it, and some of them won't want to, but some of them will want to. So you need to tell them, we've done our data, we can prove to you, you're going to be a good leader because we've done the data, we can prove it analytically. Now, would you be willing to take that opportunity?
Yeah. Well, the conversation I just had with my VP, because all of his directors, we just started this, and they're like, oh, I want to be IC. I was like, look, we need to tell them we're paying you $2 million a year. I don't care. And you're working for a company, so you're going to have to take on some of these, you may not love every minute of this, but this is what we need you to do now at this point. I mean, that's not the best way to motivate someone, but it is sort of instilling in them the responsibility of being part of a company and delivering their job. Yeah.
So I just wanted to, not to push back some of these ideas, because we're just talking about how you don't want to make your best contributors as managers. And I would think that holds true even if they have the skills to be a manager.
Yeah,
So,
that's the tricky part.
So it needs to be, so you need to do these surveys and whatnot, but you also need to see how much are they actually contributing as an individual, and is it worth making them a manager?
Yeah.
Like the opportunity cost?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good point. So we can even look at their output, right? Because the output's really easy to look at at Google because it's coding. It's just the codes that they do,
So, actually going on a Caterpillar game, a couple weeks ago, a manager, I went to a conference where a manager from Caterpillar went into Panama, was dealing with this very issue, how do we promote the right people? And what they did was they came together every year and they got the individual to create their own 10-year plan. Where do I see myself? What are my current skills? What do I need to develop to get there? What do we want? And then the leader would also do the same ratings, and then come together and have this conversation. And it would help uncover some of the skills that the employee didn't necessarily know they had. It would also help uncover desires that that employee may have had that the leader didn't know about. Because they're seeing the technical expertise and saying, oh, you're great at technical, or they're seeing someone's not that great at technical, and that person may say, I have this skill set in leadership. Help me develop it. And you might be able to find that individual who's going to be great leader that isn't necessarily as good on technical.
Right. So what I'm hearing a little bit is start the conversations a little earlier than director level.
They do it.
Like
They do it every year with every employee.
Yeah.
Sit down and talk about what's your 10-year plan, and every year they're adjusting that 10-year plan because obviously you have another
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, and I think we do some of that, but we don't do it where it's recorded formally, right? Where, you know, if they change managers, for example, their manager may know that, but then it's not communicated to the next manager necessarily. That's a good idea, yeah. Any other-
I don't know exactly how it would work, but somehow trying to, you have those 8 attributes that are attributes of a good manager. Is there somehow that you could maybe divide up the attributes and the responsibilities and have 2 like partner managers, that they're not spending so much time? So you have one manager you might go to for coaching and mentoring and communication, and then you go to your other one and you talk about, that's where you get your expenses, your expense reports approved, and you talk to them about project management that you might be working on. It's kind of sticky there, being able to divide those up, but I don't know if that would
That's,
make somebody more appealing if you say, well, we want to put you kind of in a manager role, but it's only half the responsibilities. You only have to be good at half of what you're doing.
that's actually the model that keeps bubbling up from the directors, except they're saying, well, let me be technical and then you hire, let's have another director manage the people under me and we'll partner together. And so we can communicate, and what they're saying is, I know I'll have to manage a couple of things sometimes, and this person will obviously contribute technically, but it's this partnership across the technical platform. Yeah, it's a good idea. I want to be cognizant of your time. I would love to hear your ideas after. If you want to email me, you can email me at emilytanner@gmail.com or Google, it's the same thing. But thank you very much. These are great ideas, actually. You guys you're well on your way to being great HR professionals. I didn't get to talk about much of my personal philosophy, but it is, if you work hard and you are good to others and live by principles rather than one-off circumstances, which is absolutely what I learned at P&G, is this principle-based leadership. You will gain the credibility of the people that you work with and that you individually interact with. So I encourage you to look to do that in your professional and personal lives, and thank you for letting me be here today.